Okay, so let's do this together. Um, let's start with our post analysis. This trade we took day for yesterday initially gave us our TP yesterday, but at this juncture, I was like, this zone was an area I was concerned with. This is the zone where I'm expecting buyers to step in. Then you see that here is gray, but here is more gray than this place. So I'm expecting more kind of strength from the buyers here. Once price dipped, like putting his tongue in the honey cup or something, it quickly rejected as if it was hot. It tried dipping again and rejected even harder. Okay, then I noticed that something was happening. At this moment, it was making highs, higher high and higher low, higher high and higher low. This was indicating what? Change in market structure. Okay, the trend was changing from a strongly bearish market to the buyers showing some hand. Now, like I said, the momentum of the sellers is very strong compared to the momentum of the buyers. Okay, so I was just like, nah, this buy is not strong until we cross above here. That was my buys would come above this point, my sells would come. At that time, I was looking at sells below here. So this in hindsight. Then for yesterday, I was looking at what if I took sells here. But my concern was this zone I didn't want to buy above this zone, and I didn't want to sell rather above this zone, nor buy below this zone. So this was where my concern was printing. So I put my sell here, pending order. It dipped, retraced, then dipped further to give me my 1 hour. If you want an in-depth explanation of this, all you got to do is watch the video for yesterday. I wouldn't want to just repeat everything I said without adding much new things. So today is for new things. If you want to get an idea of yesterday, you just got to see what I uploaded yesterday for my perception, what I'm anticipating. Okay. For today, all everyone can see that buyers are now in control. So I'm looking for buys above here to continue going up, sells if price dips further, counter trend, but I'm not going to take, I would not advise any of you to take these counter trend sells. It requires practice, continuous practice. Okay, it's not as easy as the buys I'm giving right now. For the counter trend sells, you have to actually be available to see it print the bearish market structure. Then what I'm looking at for right now would be certainly we are looking for more buys. So buys will be here, which this will be scenario 1. Counter trend will be scenario 2 for counter trend, which this is just a kind of miniature kind of sketch on how the counter trend will look like, but I'm more on the buy side than on the sell side. Okay, then for now I'm not just going to look for any sells. My attention is just strictly on the buys. Okay, there's something I want you to just watch. This will give you an idea of what price wants to do. You see how it's struggling to print red candles versus the momentum going up. This is an indication that buyers want to come in. But perhaps the London guys are just like, they want a better price before pushing it upwards. I don't know, but whichever one comes first. So we could see a deeper retracement, okay, which could be, this could be scenario 1A, this could be scenario 1B, deeper retracement. It can even come deep into this zone, sort of like this, set 1, set 2, then go up, okay, where there is failure to continue in the bearish market structure, retest the low, fail to break the low, give us a lopsided V formation, set 1, set 2, then voila, buys. If you don't have a full understanding of what I'm saying, no problem, I get you. But if you do, congrats. If you don't, you're free to comment, ask the question, and I'll do my best to explain for you to understand better. So this is for GJ. Let's look at what gold is going to give us. Okay, gold, gold, gold. Let's look at gold quickly. Okay, for gold, what I'm looking out for gold is this. I'm looking for counter trend sells here, below here, sort of like this, giving me my 1 hour, or in direction of the trend, buys. Okay, so this will be scenario 1, and this will be scenario 2 for counter trend sells. In the direction of the trend, buys. But get this straight, I am more in the direction of, as in the trend, which is buys for gold. But at the moment, this comes with professional kind of trading with experience to take my sells in buyer's territory. Okay, this is what I call counter trend. So it takes sales while actually your bias is for buys. So GJ, I'm looking for buys, but could take counter trend sales if price gives me that. Then let's look at let's do some post analysis. As at when I did this video or was working on the lesson for yesterday, I suggested something like this is a typical example of a counter trend sales. Okay, where on the break of this low, I'm anticipating price to give us 1 hour. It did, but came up. Okay, but if you remember, if you watch the video for yesterday, the lesson for yesterday, you will notice something I said which I kept repeating, that I would not want to take buys below this mark, this white horizontal line labeled DS. It means something to me. I wouldn't want to take buys below this mark, or safe buys to be above it. So then if you're going to take sell, this is clean traffic to mirror this strong bullish candle. Okay, which as you can see, exactly. Clean traffic. It's just as if you took this candle, did Control C for copy, did Control V for paste. Just as simple as that. Afterwards, price did what? So if your buy stop was somewhere around here or here, you just kept your buy stop above here. But the question is, where would your stop loss be? Your stop loss could be below the structure here, or to be conservative, which I like being conservative, which is why you notice so far all my trades, none has hit stop loss. If you've been following my forecast, none has hit stop loss. That does not mean that the market and I spend time in bed every night before I come to give you the forecast. No, it just simply means that I've embraced the fact that market runs on probabilities. So I need to be on the side where the market wants to go first of all. Then my stop loss will be a function of the market structure. I think I've said too much for now. So that is it for gold. So I'm more on the buy side, but could take counter trend sales. Then let us look at something on Bitcoin. Buy the dip, buy the dip. Sir, it's getting deeper. Keep buying the dip. Yeah, but it's getting deeper. Buy the dip. I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh at most people who bought the dip. Now you understand that investing is not the same thing as trading. You just got to have a deeper pocket if you want to buy the dip. You understand? I know for cryptos, it's only the value that changes, but the concrete amount of your crypto will be the same. You understand? But who likes seeing investing, for instance, X amount of money, and let's say you invested X amount of dollars, and all of a sudden you having less than X amount of dollars right now. No one feels that way. Let's say you invested 1 million of your capital, $1 million, and right now your $1 million is valued at 200 and something thousand naira, $1,000. It doesn't make any sense, right? You see? Okay, let's break time is over. Let's focus on the chart now. So what I'm looking at is this. I'm looking for sales below the structure, then counter trend buys above the structure, this zone, above this zone. So I don't want to buy below this zone. I don't want to sell above this zone. So that is the litmus here. Don't sell above this zone. Don't buy below this zone. Here, we are still going to receive the, what they call impound. It tried to come within the zone and was boom, but failed to make a low ish. Like there was some kind of, like there's a demand here that was not filled, especially those who like buying bottom, buy the dip. I think they're the ones making price to struggle coming down, because when it was here, people were loading, as in people started loading buys, load buys, load buys, load buys, kept loading. Price gave them favor and they were like, wow, it's going up. Let's load. They load, price drop, they load, price drop, they load, price drop. It's as if the big boys are just smacking it down. They load, price drop. When it got to this place where a large number of buyers have loaded, it gave that kind of false impression that it wants to go up. That kind of false impression. People like, oh, Bitcoin wants to rally. Load, load, load. They load. People don't even understand that there is market structure that must be respected. But I must say this, crypto is not your conventional currency where it certainly would respect the seller's territory, the guy who started the sales, like the guy who originated the sales, the zone, supply zone, or the guy who started the buys, demand zone. It doesn't really give you that kind of, but it's trying to follow that convention right now. It's trying to, but it's not fully like there yet. It's only trying to imitate or mimic conventional currency because now it has started becoming a conventional currency. So the whales right now still have stronger control of crypto, but time will come when those who have the bigger money will be those who actually are poor. Poor, not say poor mentally, but like if 5 million people own, let's say, Bitcoin worth $500 each. So 5 million people holding Bitcoin of $500, that is about 50 billion, right? 5 million, no, no, no. Let's say, yeah, yeah, that should be 5 billion, I think. No, 5 million people, let's just say 25 or so. But what I'm trying to say is that if the number of people who own, let's say 5 million people, okay, 5 million people own Bitcoin worth $500. Okay, so this will be 500 million. So the value will be 500 million. Yeah. Uh, come on, man. 500 million. Though it's not much, but imagine that instead of 5 million people holding Bitcoin worth $500, you have we are 7 billion plus people in the world. Just imagine that 3 billion people own Bitcoin worth $500. That means even the whales that own Bitcoin in a large quantity will not be able to push the market the way these people would be willing to push it. Which is why if you notice, if you have a public figure who is capable of influencing people's decision to buy or sell a particular currency like Luna, when people are like, okay, buy, let us do some kind of burning of, so you know what I mean, to just increase the value and something like that. It actually did some good, but don't forget the whales are still there. The more people are buying at a supply zone, the whales are seeing it like a fair value price to do what? Smack it down again. So for the time being, I'm looking at Bitcoin and I'm like, okay, Bitcoin is still giving us the vibe that it wants to dip. My forecast is that looking at the month, let's look at the monthly, guys. Okay, for the monthly, guys, my forecast is that Bitcoin could dip as low as this, which is don't be surprised if Bitcoin dips to $14,000, that kind of range. So if you see some retracement, don't say, oh, buyers are in now. It's retracement. Okay, then what you notice is kaboom, somewhere around here or in this zone. But if it bearishly breaches this zone, forget it. If Bitcoin bearishly breaches this zone just like it did here, forget it. Then Bitcoin may be approaching the nothing value. Then perhaps by then, many people will like, okay, if it's zero, what will I lose? If it's zero and you buy it, you buy, let's say, $5,000 worth of Bitcoin, what do you stand to lose? The worst that can happen is for you to do what? Go up. It's just like saying when you push someone to the wall and there's no other place to go, the person will have to react. Okay? So let's see what price will do, but this is now like what I'm looking at. If you notice some buyers coming in, don't look at it like, okay, the buys are in. Safe buys will be above here, but at the moment we are in sellers territory. Yes, you can take counter trend buys in sellers territory, but do not just be convinced that it is buy and keep, like you say, stacking it, as in loading more. If you want to buy, take your 1%, buy 1%, then observe it play out. Don't stack one, oh, price is going up, add another one, price is going up, add another, to the point where you're at supply zone and you're adding buys. If it smacks you, you're not going to lose 2, 3, 4%, you're going to lose all and more of your account, especially if you don't have stop loss on it. So we're going to stop here for now. If you have any question, feel free to ask me, and do the normal subscribe, hit the notification button, comment, then like, SNCL. Okay, subscribe, hit the notification button. Don't forget to hit the notification button after subscribing so you get timely notification prompt when I upload something new. Okay, this is all for now. Bye for now. Peace.